Hello, today's video is going to be about creating a web server. This is old school RuneScape, a site I used to visit as a child. If we inspect the HTML, you can see that there's not much bootstrap, but that's because the site is purposely made to look old, as it's called old school RuneScape. We can design a site just like that and set up our own server. All we have to do is install Nginx, direct it to our content, and finally visit our website. Let's connect to our machine with SSH. We'll use our private key and our IP address. Once we're in, we're going to clear the console and type in hostname CTL. Then we'll look and see what operating system is on the output. It should match what you're expecting. Afterwards, sudo dnf update, and you're going to want to include -y. Otherwise, it's going to prompt you every time to do yes or no prompts and answers. So you can see that the output on Ubuntu is much faster, but that's because it already comes pre-configured and installed with more packages. The output contains much useful information, such as how big the update is and what the name of the updated package is as well. Now that our system is up to date, we can install Nginx. Begin by typing in sudo apt install Nginx if you're on Ubuntu, and make sure to type in the -y flag as well. On Fedora, you'll use sudo dnf install Nginx -y. So you can examine on the right side, I just typed in sudo systemctl status Nginx. I'll type in the same thing on Fedora. We're going to see that the output is a little bit different. First, I'll install Nginx, and then I'll type in sudo systemctl status Nginx to examine the status of the process. And so we can notice some interesting things here. It's active on Ubuntu, but inactive on Fedora. So we're going to type in sudo systemctl start Nginx, followed by sudo systemctl status Nginx, and you can see that now it's active, but we can see that it's also disabled. What exactly is disabled is the enabling once the virtual machine starts up. Do we also start up Nginx? Well, we're going to type in sudo systemctl enable Nginx, and now it will. The other reason why we had to manually enable it on Fedora is because the default web server is Apache. Now that everything is enabled, let's visit our website. We could see the Fedora web server test page on the left and Ubuntu's on the right. You'll copy and paste the IP address that you'll find in your Azure portal to access that. Now we'll add some content. Create a directory wherever you'd like. I created mine as /var/www/myonlineubuntusite/html. This is where your HTML content is going to live. Now I'll create a file called index.html within that directory. That's going to be my home page. For the next step, you may add whatever you'd like and it will pop up on the web browser. Feel free to experiment as you feel comfortable. There's no danger to putting in whatever you'd like, but if you want to be safe, just type in exactly what you see on the screen, or you could copy and paste what is in the description, and you'll see that there is a default HTML file that you could just click, copy and paste into your Nano, and you will be good to go on creating content for now. Nano is the text editor that we're using, and the very first line you can see that it says doc type HTML. This is an inclusion, kind of like an appendix that we have, that it used to be useful, but now it's not really, it's just there. Long story short, doc type HTML says this is a HTML5 file. So this is a new style of HTML that is to be used, so please serve that up and not the old style, which is what they call quirks. Now we're going to create one head and one body. There's no foot, although there is a concept of a footer, but that actually goes within the body itself. So within the head, there's a title. And this title is what appears at the very top of your screen. And that's what the page title is going to appear as. Then in the body, I'll just have a simple line that says hello from Fedora World. I'll copy and paste that onto Ubuntu and just switch the name Fedora out for Ubuntu. By the way, don't forget to include the HTML. There's an HTML tag you have to include, and within that tag will live your head and body. So just to recap, you have 4 things: doc type HTML at the very top, a head, a body, a title, and then HTML. So it's really 5 things. The final step remaining is telling Nginx where our content lives. This is the final step, configuration. There's a specific file included in our Nginx installation. Type in the command you see in the screen, sudo nano /etc/nginx/nginx.conf. You can see many settings such as the HTTP. This is how the server will handle these types of connections. And then we have the server block itself. These contain very important information such as the port, the server name, and where the content lives. This is what we need to change. But this is the default server with the default configuration for the default test page, which by going into that directory you can find right over here. If you inspect the test page, this is exactly what you'll see. We'll create our own configuration file. In the server name, put your IP address, which you found on the Azure portal. The root will be where your content lives, and that should be the only settings you're changing. Finally, the last thing you'll need to do is reload Nginx. Once you've done that and visit the browser, the website is up and running. Congratulations, Ubuntu, you have done it. However, for Fedora users, we have an issue. And the reason is because of this module called SE Linux, a security module made open source in 2000 by the NSA, a branch of the government dealing with security. It's a bit too restrictive for our purposes. So we're going to type in sudo set enforce permissive. Now all of the processes will be able to communicate with each other internally. After a final reload of the configuration, we finally have our Hello World page online. Congratulations. Please make sure to like the video and click the subscribe button if you love the content, and add a comment right below and share what you loved or did not love most about the video, where I can improve, or what you would like to see next. Thank you for watching.